Okay, we're going to be calculating certain things, and we're going to be going over this very, very, very fast. Let me show you where it came from. First, we have the game. The first two letters are 7 and 1. 7 can only be created from two dice. We need a counter. So if I'm holding the dice, I would be the gateway to the dice. I would throw the dice. I would be the one spirit of this. I would have to come into this world, and I would have to leave this world, and I would have the circuitry into this world. Okay. The ME is 13 and 5. It creates the letter R. It also says ACE. And if you look on the keyboard, right, the A is the first letter in the second row. The C is the third letter, and the E is the fifth letter. The third letter, the first letter, third letter, first letter, one, two, three, one, two, three, one, one, two, three. No, here, the T. CAT, cat, 315. What does that do? It creates 315. Okay, so the ACE letter creates 315. I'm so excited. I'm like a little kid. I just want to come on here and 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 like I can't be embarrassed by what I do because I mean you see me. It's really freaky to know you're looking right at me right now. Oh my God, I'm so shy. I am because this has got to be like perfect because we have to understand this in layman terms and basic science and I'm just I mean I didn't want to write this down. I'm going to show you. Oh God. There's so many ways to show this. I'm going to do it twice. Okay, I'm just going to do it twice. So let me get this this back paper over here. Is it better this way or this way? What's better? Ah, okay. And this over here, we're just going to move this over. So game, right? And we did this already. Game 135. That's the cat. That's the gateway. 1 times 7, 1 plus 7 shows 8 ways. 8 ways. North, south, east, west highways, right? Houses in the corners, right? You can't have houses in the corners because in the corners go to jail. A place that's away from the city, right? Out of jail. In jail. Free parking. Go to jail. So we've got, when we've coming down to the word begin, we get Earth's entry, 5 times 2, 5 plus 2, just because of what these numbers will replicate. 4 and 6 replicate Mars because it's 1.5 rotation, right? First we need 1 and 2. Right? We need 1 and 2 because of the brick house. We need all these ones, right, in between 2. The left side and the right side. But the value is 3 and 3. How do you do that? Oh, you just do it. Here's 1 over here. There's 3 here. There's 3 here. Well, what about up? Oh, and up, it's 1, 1, 1. So when we get this, when we bring over the calculator, we see 1, 1, 1 across, 3, 3, 3 up and down. So we've got to figure it's the same thing. We see 4 bars. And we see the division talking above and below complete. Here we talk about 4 segments. Here we talk about the corners. And here we talk about the undivided. Okay? All the way around, but no 4, 5, and 6. Here's 4, 5, and 6 and talking about above and below. But you see how close the dot is to this? Is the dot supposed to be a little bit lower because there's a different explanation? Remember. So what we're going to do now is we have the dealer. The dealer, because the first 2 letters are D and E, it creates O, and right away, E and A, arts and entertainment. Inside that sun, 4 and 5, we get the sun, the foxhole, the passage of the sun. We get the player, of course. How do you want to get anywhere without creation of the gateway? The cube of altered current. The P is 7, 1, and 6 of the half-life. It means it's turned this way, right? Because we get the cross right here, the greatest distance, and that's what Jesus was hung on, right? Isn't that what this is all about? Your God, my God, his God. Because no one knew what the right thing was. We said, that's it, I'm the God, I'm going to tell you all the right things, and this guy was a lunatic. A lunatic. We need a fool because God had to come back and go, oh my God. Oh my God. G-O-D. It's an omega. It's a gateway. It lifts itself up. You lift yourself up and you pee onto the world. There's water everywhere. L, she, M, loves, O, Mars to P. So we're going to continue on with this. Then we got to the player, and in line is the moon, I-N. I-9, N-14 creates 9 and 5. The birth, the passageway. 7 plus 2, 7 times 2. creation of the B world of 5-2 because it brings 4 worlds together. We put a cross in between and we bring all the worlds together, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 worlds. 1, 2, 3, 4 worlds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my God. Yes, in order to make a square, you need 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Maybe we should look somewhere and see if we can find this dice anywhere, right? Same replica. I'm only using your replicas, your numbers. You gave me this stuff, and I'm just working with it. So now I want to hold up this. The more intricate way to understand the letters inside game, G7. The ways to create that on 2 cubes, they all talk about the cube world. They're all talking about the cube world. They're all looking where numbers come from. I only need 1 calculator to calculate the rest. So I got 1 calculator. It counts for the other 3 walls because I'm counting my wall. Once I know my wall, I know my opposite wall. Once I know from what is above, I know what is below, and I know what's left over. And they're opposites. 7, 1, 13, and 5. The sun, the spirit, the gateway of the moon, the dog watch, red. How do I know? Because in the game of roulette, the 7, the 1, and the 5 are all red. That's how I know. I just know from these letters. I also know that 7 and 1 is 8 and 4, okay, equals to 12. And 5 equals to 17. Boom. G&E is the spirit in the gateway. But it is the secondary A. Remember, there's a big A and there's a small a. Because and the small a and a big A, they're all pieces and parts of something else, and I'm not going to get into that right now. This becomes 7, 1, 4, 5, inside 4 and 5, and this explains the ocean over here, the ace cat in the moon and the ocean. And the reason it says that is because 3 and 5, and 3 and 7, and 5 and 5 are 10 and 10. So we connected the 2 worlds. If I want to reverse it, I got 5 and 7 equals 3, and I have 4 and 5 equals 9. Right away, that's the explanation of a root way of 3 to the power 2, which is BC communication, and it rides out of Saturn, 3 to the power 2, 93. And that's the Hoover Dam roadway from Arizona into the Nevada state, where they're bringing in a new set of numbers in hockey. Game 7, 1, 8, plus 13, 21, plus 5, 26. Game equals to the number to dog. Dog watch, moon, 1.75, because it's only that 1 point. It's only the 1 in the center, the 5 passage, that goes right through 5 and 4 to the outside of the 4, through the 5, connecting to the 4 areas. We need to connect all the areas, right? I can't explain it properly because I can't see that how it's the artwork is going. I mean, I didn't just, the artwork has to be somewhere. Somewhere has to be the artwork. We have to understand where things ended up in this world. So I'm going to move my paper up a little bit more. So now we have 26 to dog. I count this one way. Now, 5, 13, 1, and 7. 5, 18. The missing part is the altered current. What has happened? I count it this way and this way. If I want to break down the syllables, I could. This keeps getting smaller and smaller, more intricate and more intricate. 8 is the separation at the end. Electric company. 2 and 6 can be done on the cubes. Okay? There's a difference when it could and it count. Remember what 1 is. 1 is in the center of everything. You can't get past 7 with number 1. 1 is inside of things. And I'm going to show you that inside, okay? How many aces are on this? There's 3 aces on this. There's 3 aces. There's 1 ace over here. There's 1 ace over here. And there's 1 ace over here. They're all in the center. Don't count the other things. We have to break down things for individuality, because when we paint and we create art, we seem to have things that are overlapping and we think it goes together when maybe it doesn't. Right? Do you know where the 7 is on this dice? Do you know where the 7 is on this dice? This is the 7, because the opposite creates light. If this was a glass dice, this would be the only side showing 7. All the other ones are 5, telling me the dice is 57, 75. 5, 5, one side of 5, 2 sides of 5, 5, 7, 5 is the number to the dice. Everything goes, the cube and the moon. You want to see number 7 on this dice? It's right here. 7 and 2. 7 blank areas, 7 blanks, and 2 that you see. Do you want to see 6 and 3? 3, skip 3 and 3. Do you want to see 5 and 4? 5 and 4. Now you want to create, here we have the dealer. We have another word, dealer. It also represents the O is right over here. The center of these two is the C creation, where inside the O, because these two numbers create the O. And these numbers in this line say 51. That's the numbers to Mars. 5 and 4 come together. Mars runs through the 5th planet and the 4th planet. But the 5th and 4th planet is now created by Earth and Jupiter, which here is Mars and Jupiter. ER says Earth. Part of the words for Earth and LER, okay, could say our, leur. Quelle heure est-il? Leur. At the same time, it says her, spirit angel, resident electronic, because that's what it says in words that I studied where the numbers come back and it sit in my head. You connect them, 4, 5, 1, 12 in order, 4, 9, 10. 4 and 5 and 1 is 10. And 12 is 22, and 5 is 27. 27 is the B creation of the gateway, also a representation of the word red. 72 is the representation of the word brown. Brown fits in round, okay? And it's the second round. So it's the second round of 180 seconds equals 360, which is now a boxing match. And we're into the ring where how many cords are in each corner from the bottom to the floor, and are the corners protected, taken away from the area space of the ring, or are they not? The total is the foxhole in the sun, which is 8, which is 1 to 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Add it up. So that's how we do all these basic numbers. Now we want to understand other things. 45 and 36 are the only way in the cube to create 9. There's no other way. The other ways to create 9, okay, if it's not, it's 1 and 8. And 1 and 8, we all know, is the 1 in the center to 8 around. And 2 and 7, okay, 2 and 7 is 1 here and 1 here. And 2 and 7 shows up only on one dice, and it shows up on this dice over here, 2 and 7. Why? Because the mirror reflection shows 1, and no matter how we turn this dice, we're always going to show 1 in the center and 2 open. 1 in the center and 2 open. Here we show 2, 8, runner of the cycle of the moon, and here we show an east-west. Validation, Zion, Israel, and representation of 0. 0 is the representation of 1.5, and 1.5 of everything is Mars. The actual reality is supposed to be 1.25. 288 times 1.25 equals to 360 degrees. So if you think the video moved, it did. I had to take a walk off. So anyway, so we see how 1 and 8 and 3 and 9, okay, come together. We also want to understand, I'm going to see if I have it on the back of this. Did I write it down on the back of this? Yeah, I did. If we want to create 7, okay, that's going to be created only in the cube. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only in the cube can we get that small. We can also create 7 by 313 and 515. Okay, we can also go 070, but then we just have 2 passages and nothing else. Here it's the spirit of creation. 3 is inside 2 times 1 plus 2 plus 1. 1551 equals 47 times 33. Years after Moses, which is 47 times 47, 2209. You want to make 8? 616, spirit of the half-life. 6 and 8, Maxwell Smart. Dumbest thing ever, right? Took Agent 99 to come in and fix everything up. You want 8, you got 808. 080. You have 242, 9 lives of the cat. Comes into 8. Why? Because it's both sides. 8 is on both sides. H and I, my friends. H and I. How do I get H on this side to connect with this side? How do I make the H stand up? Because I have to turn everything to get the H, right? But is there another way to create the H? I'd have to look for it. I'd have to really look. The only way I can see the H standing up with nothing in its way would be maybe over here. Let me take a look at the design with you to see if we can see the same thing. I sort of mess up all my paper, right? So if I go here for the H, right, and I go here for the H, right, that really doesn't make an H because this closes, right? This closes. Now the question is, because this is the free area, this is your circle, this is your Mars lock. This is your I and this is your H. It's two different things. You got to look at it two different ways, right? Going up the building, looking indoors. This can be a man. Anyways, let's not get into that. Let's just talk about now to make 9. You have 5 and 4, 6 and 3, 2 and 7, 8 and 1. 1 times 8, 1 plus 8, okay, equals 8 and 9, 17. Your gateway, okay, over here. 2 and 7, 2 plus 7 is 9 and 14 equals 23. The letter I and N. When I spoke about the letter I and N, it creates number 23. Creates W, I, N, big. It creates win big red, right? 56 is the win the big red sun. 56, 28, 14, DNA. Win the big red sun. When they said, okay, God, let there be light, dividing the night with the day. Well, when you divide the night with the day, okay, when God divided the night with the day, right, he had to divide the whole day. The day is 24 hours. So now I have to start doing that design, but we're not going to get in that right now. We have the dealer. We did the dealer. We start the dealer out, which would be 0. He's nothing to the players. He's only dealing out the cards. He's almost like the cards are the spirit, and he's that element to deal. Can you call him the half moon? Right? Can you call him the half moon? When you do the dealer cards, right? 4 and 5, 45 equals to 9. 35 equals to 5. 36, 3 and 6 equals to 9. 3 and 5 equals to 8. 23 equals to 5. 18 equals to 9. So when you're actually counting this word dealer, which is 18, 23, 33, 30, all the way to 45, it's actually 9, 14, 17, 18, 27. Dealer also equals red, so dealer delivers for the red sun. Light equals to 56. Cube equals to 21. Light of, right? Light of. Okay, and the speed of light. Now God divided the day, okay, the light. He divided the light. He divided this, 28, 28, cycle of the moons. When we do the rotation, okay, this is full rotation, which means I'm only going to multiply by this number here. So choose any numbers here. When you get to this number over here, we have our first rotation in the first area becoming 1. This is number 5, times 2 is 10. All of those will create a 7. Right next to D, which is 4 times 2 creating 8, this is your separation between the 5, 10. 10, right? 5 on the left, 5 on the right. It's the football. You get the dime package in the middle, right? Okay, here's your 5 and here's their 5. Once you split it, these letters will create the D, and inside it'll create the I. Okay, but anyways, there's a whole concoction to do for this, but the center needs 2 yards. 4, 2, 4 on a dime. 9 lives of the cat. And then there's a dime here, and then there's a dime here. Okay, so these are, I'm not going to get into the moon situation right now or the eyes, but now when we get to C, right, C turns the speed of light into 699369366. When you multiply the speed of light by 3, all you get is 6993693, and this represents a passage between two sides, and it repeats Jupiter, man, creation, rotation. Okay, this is the percentage sign of 5, okay, and Saturn. Saturn skies. 93 is the Saturn skies. 3 by 9 is 27. 27 is the red sun. 3 plus 9 is 12. Representation of 89. Okay, 1 plus 8, 1 times 8 equaling to 17, the doorway. When you go 6 times the speed of light, you get 399639633. When you go 9 times the speed of light, you get all 9s because your birth is right out of Jupiter. Jupiter, Pluto, Saturn. It's a rotation. Is it a left angle, right angle? I don't know. And then when you get to the 10th one, you start over again. Now, if you do a twin rotation of the speed of the sun, and I'll show you what the twin rotation is, 2, 9, 4, 5, 8. It's replicating on the next number. So the first one will become 499, 5499817, but it won't be like this. This one, okay, because it's rotating in itself, automatically goes. This is like binary, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then doubles again. And this one over here will be 9, 9. Now this one over here will be 1. This one over here will be 8. This one over here will be 9, 7, 2, 5. And then we're going to go to D. And this is going to be 7, 9, 9, 2, 7, 9, 5, 4, 1. Because it ends up with a 0, I must circle it, because all ones will turn into 7. Remember the dice cube, right? All ones turn into 7. Bringer of the light, right? Passage in the 5 hole, right? 5 hole. Supporting 5. 4 equals corners. Because your most important is these corners over here, because this is one area, right? This breaks up into 4 pieces, this area. Everybody gets a piece, right? But it's on the outside, right? Look, the center gets this whole center, right? Anyways, let's not talk about that. Now we're going to go to E, right? Don't forget, when you get the special ones, are the 3 special ones you always have to remember are C, F, and I. Okay, 3, 3, and 3. E, okay, when you get to E, you'll end up with 5, 9, 9, 4, 5, 9, 1, 8, 2. And then you're going to get to F, and F is going to be 1, 9, 9, 8, 1, 9, 2, 7, 4. And now we're going to do G. We're just going to do the, I'm not going to go all the way around. When you get to G, you get the 2, 9, 9, 7, 2, and G will now replicate A. And this is your gematria scale. This is your 10 scale, and this is your 7 scale. It took 10 to bring it back to the beginning, and it took 7 to bring it back to this beginning. This would be the relationship between 52, B, and E. Raphael, 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Just one last thing I wanted to bring in, just to add this on. ABC 1, 2, 3. Well, when you're doing this in the game of pool, you get yellow and blue. Yellow and blue create green. You now have the 1 and the 9 ball. You now have the 2 and the 10 ball. You have the 6 and the 14 ball. This is one scenario. This, since the game is the 8 ball, 9 is away from 8 and 7 is a game from 8. 101. Let's go backwards. So now we're going to have one more backwards is 6. The other backwards is 10. We can't do it. So the other backwards is 5 and 12. 11. 5 and 11. 5 and 11. 1 and 1 is 2. 5 and 2 is Earth. And here's your rotation. The 5 ball and the 11 ball. Now, 11 ball consists, the only way to make an 11 ball, okay, the only way to make an 11 ball, okay, on the cube is 6 and 5. And the reverse of that is 1 and 2, which is the reflection in the 10 world, okay, of 8 and 9, H and I, right? H and I lets H go back to its own. H inside here becomes B over here. H becomes B because it's the second rotation. But in the piano, it's still noted as A. Do you understand what I'm saying? A, B, C, D, F, G, and then A again, the piano. But once I get to the next letter here, okay, it will automatically start at B and jump right over A. In this one over here, 5 and 2, right, creates the letter Y. The 11th letter creates the K, and the 5th letter creates the E. The key is on Earth, okay? It's to be better understood how all our numerological numbers work, counting backwards and forwards, bringing it into the Pythagorean count, and bringing it into regular numbers count. Even in the words of God and the speed of light, all these are all codes. God divided the day and the night. I'm going to get that into one of my next videos. And this is your 420, and you have to understand that. There's one other word in here, and I hope people wait till the end. The speed is 42. 9 lives of the cat. Spirit of 76. Here it is. The cannibus. Okay. Knack, or also called for arson. Knack. I'm not really sure what it is. 3114. That's your DNA of the altered current. It's brought in through the eye system. I'm not really sure which way I should go with this, but I'm not. But inside our brain, we need more of these cannabinoids. Our diets are way off. Communication, my friend. It's all about understanding the communication, because when you communicate and you understand, you have developed the ability to want to do. You have understood that the patience, my friend, we are stopped and blocked because of fathers and mothers. I'm not saying, and everything else that puts things that we're born into to grow up, to learn. The pedestal of our life are those people around us. But we also get stopped because guess what? This is the first time this brain that I know is learning, and I learn from those around. Everybody learns from what they acquire. Raphael, thank you for watching this video. Games people play.